That's the intro.
What is up? Claire, I missed you.
I missed you, Glow.
Girl.
I missed you, Glow.
You know how painful it was not only being sick, but not getting to see that thick, voluptuous, juicy ass.
Yeah,
that beautiful face.
This cake running up and down.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
How was your week? When did I see you last?
I had this is, honest to God, this is the second shittiest week of 2020 for me.
Oh, why?
Just everything, everyone's just being annoying.
That's
and
fair.
you know, everyone's getting super sick now, and then people trying to like gather for Thanksgiving. Why? I just don't understand.
I was thinking this morning when I was in the shower about how if we weren't in a pandemic, I would be shit-faced tonight at every bar downtown, like seeing every person from high school, making sure I was the craziest bitch in every room.
Right, jumping in the fountain.
Yeah, last year I'm pretty sure.
Off.
Exactly. I think last year I tackled Philip to the ground.
We love that.
Yeah, in front of the police. Like they didn't do anything.
Oh my God! Speaking of the fucking police, can I just get on a tangent? Just really quick.
Right off the bat.
I was on my way over here, and I'm just driving on I-95 like everyone else, and there's a cop behind me. He's just driving too, you know. And
Gross.
I guess I was going too slow for this motherfucker because he gets into not the left lane, the right lane, and decides to pass me.
Wow, he passed you in the slow lane?
He passed me in the fucking slow lane and didn't use a blinker. So
oh my God.
So you know my ass is honking. Like, why would I not? Why would I not? And I did honk because at this point he was in front of me. So it's like, what, are you going to stop and turn around?
Uh-huh.
And I fucking laid on the horn, and that's my story.
You're ballsy.
I don't give a single fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm scared of the police. I've always been scared of the police. Like, have you ever seen videos when like young teenagers get arrested? They're like, I don't give a fuck, oinker pig, a cabbage.
Yeah.
I would never. In my heart, I'd like to think, you know,
Right.
when I pass a cop car in my car, like I do a low middle finger.
Yeah. I'm flipping you off right now.
Yeah, I'm like right underneath the window.
No, see, here's the thing. I'm like respectful to police, I guess, when I'm in an altercation because I'm like, I'm not gonna let.
I mean, we've been in multiple altercations with the police together.
Literally, Glow is always with me when it's like the worst police altercation. They think I'm fucking huffing paint, like all this crazy shit.
Yeah, there was the time you had a bunch of spray paint in the back of your car, and like first of all, they did. No, what I don't remember which time we got detained, but
both.
Both.
We got detained both times. We got put in handcuffs both times.
Awful.
But the second time we got fucking searched. Fucking fingers up my pussy searched. Let me just reminisce about that. I'm like, we were 5 minutes away from your fucking house.
No, we were down the road, like a left and a right, and we were at my house. We were at my neighbor's.
Yeah, and I don't even know why they pulled me over because I didn't use a blinker or something.
I think you didn't turn your headlights on or something. Yeah, and you didn't put your blinker on.
Yeah, I think it was blinker, and I guess they were following me because they didn't have their fucking headlights on, remember?
Yeah, they used to park right across from the house we were at in the parking lot, and I think they just followed us.
Yeah, they just followed us out. We weren't doing anything bad. And they fucking pulled us over, and they're like, the car smells like weed. There's no weed in the car.
First of all, you had like a handle in your trunk and a bunch of paint, and they didn't give a fuck because they're like, where's the weed?
Right.
We're like, we have not a single like piece of weed on us.
Smudge, right? So they fucking they're like, we're asking you to get out of the car right now. We're going to search it. And so I don't know. I've heard before that that's like illegal in itself.
Yeah, both of our parents were like, what the fuck? Why'd you let the cops detain you?
Yeah, and we're like, what? That's
They're
not
like
what
pussies.
you're supposed to do? But so we let these motherfuckers detain us. They called in for backup.
Oh, yeah, they did. There's multiple
We're in handcuffs. We're sitting on the fucking side of the road. They're just ripping through my car.
Oh, we were in handcuffs the second time, too. Or the first time. I forgot about the first time.
We looked crazy.
It was freezing cold.
We were wearing fucking basketball shorts, fur coats, and, like, slides.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and then this woman cop came, and they're like, "Yep, we need you to give her a pat search."
No underwear.
I was wearing let me just tell you, the thinnest fucking the H&M leggings. You know what I mean? That are like, it's literally just
you weren't wearing leggings. You were wearing like those flare yoga pants.
Oh my god, yeah, the ones that make your butt really jiggle. And I wasn't wearing underwear because a bitch never wears underwear.
First of all, are you wearing underwear now? You're wearing jeans. You never wear underwear with jeans, which is the craziest thing ever. You're a psycho.
Listen, I am wearing underwear today with these jeans, but I might as well not even be because it's so fucking
I don't
wedged
know.
Up my asshole.
I just don't get how that's more comfortable to you.
No underwear?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
With
Free.
Jeans?
I'm free.
Denim on the puss?
Denim right on the puss. I'll take denim on the puss any day.
That's blasphemy. Blasphemy.
It's not. You know what? Don't knock it till you try it because it's not.
No, I've definitely tried it. And then
it's not like rough. It's not like it's like a fucking sandpaper. It's just like holding it there.
No.
Anyway.
You lost me.
Anyway, I'm wearing fucking those leggings. She comes up. I shit you not. They had to like, it literally, she was like, all right, spread them.
Yeah.
I fucking open my legs, right? And I felt a warm hand in between the fucking lips of my vagina. That's
basically at the gynecologist.
Basically, that's what it felt like. And I had handcuffs on. I'm like, this is so weirdly kinky.
No, the funny part was because we got pulled over by two men.
And
they called the woman. But not only did they call her to come touch us, they watched.
Oh yeah,
they were like standing like 3 feet away, just watching the whole thing. And
we didn't have shit in the car.
No,
we didn't even get a ticket. It was literally the stupidest thing. They just pulled us over so they could fucking feel us up. I'm not even gonna lie.
I don't think I've been in trouble with the police since. There was this one night though. I should have gotten in trouble with the police. Philip and I were hammered. I don't know if it was one random night when we were drinking downtown, and he Ubered us to a Dutch's, which has a 24-hour drive-through, and he thought the Uber driver would bring us through the drive-through, but instead he just left us there. And Philip forgot his phone in the Uber, and it was like a crazy night, but we tried walking from the drive-through Dutch's back to my apartment, which is probably like 2 miles.
Yeah.
And on the way, we saw a police officer, and we like ran to his car, and genuinely I was the most annoying I'd ever been. I was like, can I get a picture in the back? Can I sit in the back seat? And he let me sit in the back, and I like took pictures in the back of the cop car, like hammered.
See, that's when I'm like, all right, all cops aren't bad.
Because, yeah, no, he was fine, but he wouldn't help Philip find his phone, which was funny. Philip was like, please, I have his location, help us, like, please. And the cop was like,
to drive us in your cop car.
Yeah, the cop was like, no, literally no. But a part of me wishes like, oh, I scrolled back to when I first started my TikTok the other day, because
it was how many TikToks do you have?
An obscene amount. Like,
I love that.
It's probably like 500. And I started like right in the beginning of quarantine, and it is so weird to look back and think I've been in my house this entire time.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm very different not very different, but like so much has changed. It was so creepy to look back and think.
It's so weird. It's so weird documenting yourself, because you think, oh, this is me. This is who I am. And then you literally, I hate the person I was 2 months ago. I cringe at her. And now I'm like, I'm probably doing the same thing now. I'll probably listen back to this podcast next week and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy how much opinion changes and perception changes just day to day.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, like, you ain't growing.
Yeah, I think what was weird for me looking back at March last year and like seeing me post on TikTok, it wasn't that I wasn't being authentic, but in the videos, like, I was just different. I'm like, so, like, it's so weird because maybe people will look at me and be like, no, you're literally
exactly
the same person.
Yeah.
But, like, looking at it from my own perspective, I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I'm like, how different would this year have been if it, like, none of this happened? Like, who the fuck would I be right now? And would we be sitting here right now? Would I be in, like, would I've ever changed? You know?
Yeah, quarantine is good for self-reflection and good for getting projects done. And it's like, if you haven't been doing that, then start, because that's what this is for. Like, yeah, I totally agree with that.
It's kind of scary knowing that, like, round 2 is about to happen.
Round 2's happening. Yeah,
round 2 is currently happening. It's kind of terrifying.
Watching the charts from, I don't know if you saw the chart from Canada, but it was like, it went up like fucking crazy because people celebrated Thanksgiving last week or whatever. And all of it's just insane to me that people are still having these like fucking super spreader events. Like, I get it if you're going to have like whatever, your dad and like your grandma over, because it's like whatever, that's your family. But it's like you're having your cousins and your cousins' boyfriends.
Yeah,
and
people are having
weddings. People are having fucking weddings.
Yeah, even friendsgivings. It's just weird to think that a bunch of people are just living their life very casually, as if nothing's going on, and I haven't been. So it's like, it's really hard to see. Like, I saw Chris Clemens, he's a YouTuber.
He got it. I know, and he was crying. It was the most dramatic video. I loved it.
I know, but like, I felt for him when it's like, wow, he lives in LA and he watches all these crazy influencers just not give a fuck and not get do this, do that, and not get it, and then you.
Well, we don't know that they didn't get it. Could be just asymptomatic, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, you going against like societal norms, even though it's crazy that that's the societal norm to like pretend it's not happening in LA.
Yeah.
To then get it and like have to fucking be sick in your house.
It's like always the funniest excuse when they're like, me and my loved one went through various health screenings for 2 weeks so we could come on. I'm quoting
Kim Kardashian's fucking island birthday party.
It's like they try to use we got health screenings so we could all be together. And it's like, that doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, and also, why are you flaunting that when people's loved ones are dying and they literally can't get together? And some people can't even get health screenings. When Michael got me sick, and last week or 2 weeks ago, we were trying to get corona tested. It took us 3 days. Like, I
have to wait a fucking week to get my test.
Every time we went to, because the Vets Park in my city is doing like free testing, and like I always see our senator. He's like, hey, from here to here, you can come right now. No doctors, no blah, blah, blah. Like, come get tested. But it hits capacity. So, like, if you don't get there in time, then you can't get a test. So that happened literally like 3 times before I could finally get one.
Yeah, no, literally every single, like, fucking Quest Diagnostics, fucking all these places just completely booked until the next test I could get. Because, unfortunately, we think that maybe someone in my house had corona. I don't know. I'm wearing a mask right now if you can't tell. I feel like I'm a little muffled. But yeah, I went to go make a test. A week. I have to wait a whole week. Oh, a little more than a week. 8 days.
Yeah. And that's crazy because the amount of things that can happen during 8 days, like, who knows? Plus your school didn't give you the option to be completely remote.
No, the school did give me the option to be completely remote, like do it all online. But the thing is that since a lot of kids were like, no, gonna go in anyway, they were prioritizing the kids in the classroom. So it's like, even if you were the one person on Zoom, it'd be like you weren't even in the fucking class, because it's like,
oh, so like you could be taking class and half of the people could be on the computer and the other half could be sitting there in person.
Right. But a lot of the professors, that was like a issue for them, because they're like, where do I talk? Who do I give my attention to? Like, half the kids are bringing their assignments in hard
physical
copies. The other half are doing it on fucking WeTransfer. And not to be whatever, but all my professors are well in their 50s. And you know how fucking 50-year-olds are with their, oh my God, I'm sorry.
I don't even know where my phone is. It could be mine. Was it yours?
It was mine, yeah. Sorry if you picked up that text. But yeah, all my professors are older and they're having trouble with the fucking Zoom, and it's just hot mess. And there's one of my professors, not going to call him out by name, but I fucking should, who's still, he's like, no, we need to have it in person, guys. Like, we'll be safe. But we're never fucking are.
Yeah.
He's not doing any fucking sort of social distancing.
Yeah.
He's like, everyone come up to the board and look at this. And it's like, no.
No thanks. Yeah, I think because it's been going on for so long, people are getting more lenient and, like, not caring. Like, probably washing their hands less, or forgetting to use hand sanitizer when you pump gas. Or
and if you're going through fucking drive-through, wear a goddamn mask, you stupid bitch. I hate that. Like, you haven't... First of all, this person's working, like, a job. If they're wearing a mask, you need to be wearing a mask too. Mm-hmm. Like, just out of respect.
I've been seeing videos recently where, like, people are recording people not wearing masks, and they're like, it's my freedom. Yet, like, in Australia, they're having, like, full-ass concerts and filling, like, stadiums with 50,000 people because everyone fucking wore a mask. Like, they're kind of... I don't know if it's... what's the word? Like, they successfully beat coronavirus. I don't know if beat is a correct word.
But
like
they curved it.
So there's like people are like getting back to a kind of normal society because there was no people like feeling superior to anyone else. It's like this is
I get like, okay, here's the thing. I get like America, land of the free, fucking home of the brave, whatever, but it's like, is that your freedom? Like, is that your freedom to, like, want to get a potential illness? Like, I guess that's your freedom to want to get a potential illness. It's not even to want. It's just to, like, be inconsiderate. I can't even, like, I try to put myself in the mindset of those people who think it's their freedom, and I physically, it's very hard for me because I just don't get it. It's just so
selfish.
I just don't get it.
I couldn't imagine feeling that selfish. Like, don't you have any loved ones who can get sick and die? Or
did you see that meme where he was like, oh yeah, anyone's still welcome over here for Thanksgiving, and the grandma's like, we probably shouldn't do that this year. And he's like, but Nan, your cranberry sauce. And she's like, great, you could serve it at my funeral, Nathan.
I saw a video of this, like, girl or woman, and she was in an RV, and she was crying because she had corona. And it was, like, my family members made fun of me because I was wearing a mask, and, like, they didn't want to have me in their life if I was wearing a mask. So I took it off, and, like, look where I am. I'm, like, sick in this RV by myself, quarantining. And it's, like, I can't believe there's families who are saying, like,
but making fun of their kids.
If you wear a mask, you are not my family. Like, that's crazy to me.
And the people who are like, nope, Fauci said you don't have to wear a fucking mask. I'm like, okay, no, he didn't. Like, maybe
I was about to say, did Fauci say that?
I've seen people trying to post because in the beginning, I believe that he was saying. It was totally politically driven. There was like some sort of underlying agenda when the pandemic first happened, and Fauci was like, "Oh, you don't have to wear a mask because it's blah 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 blah." When we thought it was like super airborne and on surfaces, remember that? Mm-hmm. And people are still using that when he's corrected himself. He's literally been like, "No, we need to." Yeah. And people are like, "No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said first." Like, what?
It's called science and finding out things, new discoveries.
That's a whole different thing. People who don't believe in science. That's like a whole different topic.
I'll never understand people not believing in science.
It's literally ignorance. It's literally being stupid.
Is it like a religious thing? Because like are there people who don't believe in religion and don't believe in science? Like are there like breeds of that?
I literally don't even know.
Because there's like some schools in the United States that don't teach evolution because it like fucks with religion.
What?
They're like, do not teach evolution to my children.
I did not know that. I know that some
like
schools,
how some schools don't teach sex ed.
Well, most fucking schools. You know what is the most fucked up? Is just getting off on another tangent here. In sex ed, like I remember taking sex ed when I was like 13 in fucking Perry Hill.
Okay, but before sex ed in elementary school, did the boys and girls get to talk and you get like a bag with deodorant in it?
Literally
like puberty?
no. Literally no. Didn't have that. All I remember learning in sex ed is like literally they put up a fucking diagram of like a pelvis and they were like, "Yep, that's it." And I didn't know that sex is supposed to be like pleasurable. Like they don't teach that.
I remember in sex ed I learned about all the diseases, but like they didn't teach us like how you get them.
Like low key, if anybody's ever seen Mean Girls out here, the fucking sex ed scene where he's like, "You will have sex and die."
You'll have sex, you'll get pregnant and die.
That's basically what it fucking was. Like I remember being 13 and being like, "Oh, so I'm gonna get a disease, huh?" like
death is upon us.
Like fucking crazy. Didn't know it was about pleasure until I was like probably like 18, literally.
Yeah, no, they don't teach you about like the pleasure of sex. And I mean, that's probably also why women have an orgasm deficit. Like the female orgasm.
Stop faking your orgasms. If someone asks you, "Did I make you come?" you look at them in the face and say no. You want to try again?
Yeah, I've never lied to someone. But it's hard because the first time I ever hooked up with a girl, I know it was so bad. Like, I know I did the worst and I felt awful. She was nice about it, but, like, it literally triggers me. It triggers me.
About.
Yeah. She verbatim said to me, I remember, like, when I first, it's TMI. She was like, "I'm not a science experiment." Because I was, like, pretty lost.
Okay, well,
trying to get
low-key, that's a bitchy response.
Yeah, I was like,
I would have been like, "Oh wait, just go up a little."
Yeah,
or whatever the fuck you were doing.
Oh my god, I felt so bad about.
I'm not a asshole.
I know. Oh my god, it triggers me. I know the first time I hooked up with a guy and the first time I hooked up with a girl, worst of my life. I'm a learner. Like I'll probably get there with people, but people who could hook up with strangers and just like hit it off the bat, like kudos to you, because any first time with me is gonna be probably really bad.
The one time I hooked up with like a literal like stranger, like I met him that day, I ended up getting wrong hold. So the moral of the story is get to know him.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little.
I can't. I need to know you and know you're like nice to your mom or like or if you're not nice to your mom, like why not?
You're nice to your cats.
Yeah, like I need to know a little bit about you. You have a favorite movie? Like, do you think I'm funny? Do I think you're funny?
See, the reason I did end up sleeping with this guy is because I saw the stickers on his laptop and I was like, "Oh, he passes." I was like, he's got a. He's got a good one. Good.
A part of me always like while I was sick, I rewatched New Girl, all 7 seasons. I watched a season every day because I literally couldn't get off the couch, and it made me wish I was like living a fucking city life with male roommates and like getting it with guys and like having like all these relationships, and then I'm like thinking about every time I've ever been to a bar, how I've talked to actually no one. Like I've never once tried to like meet a stranger romantically.
I mean,
I friend zone immediately. That's like my MO.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends with me, but I understand that. Like if you're just like, especially if you're fucking at a bar getting drunk, it's like,
yeah,
you know.
I mean, I hope I get to meet like the next person I'm talking to in person. First of all, it won't happen on Tinder because I'm banned.
What? You're banned from Tinder?
Yeah, Karina got me banned.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
So I hope to meet like someone in person, and I hope that opportunity doesn't fade because of technology. Like
I think, but even if you meet somebody on the internet, like you're still gonna have to meet in person.
No, yeah, like, I know. I don't think meeting people on the internet is wrong. I mean, I just actually did meet a friend on the internet. I remember growing up, I had a bunch of internet friends that I would talk to all the time. You and we always joke about WeWorld.
Oh my God. I had boyfriends and girlfriends on
Me
WeWorld.
too.
I talked to them every day. Like, it was literally fucking
there's
crazy.
people who follow me on
cyberbullied a
Instagram.
girl on fucking WeWorld. I'm so sorry.
No, there's people who follow me on Instagram, like literally, like from those days where I had internet friends.
Love that.
And so it's kind of funny to like see this new version of internet friends. I feel like it's much safer now because back in the day it was so easy to pretend to be someone on the internet, but now,
my God, when AIM chat, I got
catfished so many times.
I literally had to be talking to a 40-year-old man. His username was Greasy Taco 6. I'll never forget that. And he was asking where I lived, and I said Hawaii. I spelt it wrong.
Hawaii.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I'll come visit you." It was very, very weird. So,
100%.
Greasy Taco, you're a pedophile. I hope you're not doing that anymore.
But now you like it's really hard. If you're still getting catfish in 2020, you obviously have no context clues, because if you tell me your name, I could easily find you and everything about you.
Right, so easy.
Or like, I don't know, there's always just like verification, like, oh, post this on your story if that's you.
Well,
or say hi if this is you.
And so many like dating sites, or even like
you have to verify.
You have to verify yourself. Even sites where you're gonna fucking sell your underwear on, you have to literally verify that you're that person.
I love that you know that.
Sniffer.com. Find me.
Do you have an account?
Yeah, Vanilla24.
I love that. Would you sell your underwear? I mean, you made the account.
I mean, yeah, but I need to start wearing underwear. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's obviously something you need to start doing if you want to sell them.
Well, right, but I was like, if I could get $20 for this.
Yeah, I saw this woman sell gummy worms. She put her feet all over for $100.
I saw that too. She sells her shoes as well, right? On TikTok.
Yeah,
I know her. She inspired me.
I was actually looking through Snapchat. Michael the other day was looking through his Snapchat memories, but it was like in a specific conversation. I was like, oh, how do you do that? And he's like, you just like look at a conversation if you've ever saved things. Yeah. Like it'll show up. So I scrolled through ours. And I scrolled to a picture from like 3 years ago, and it was a picture of your feet, and you're like, we start tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if we started then, we would be fucking rolling in it now.
I know. We should make a joint account, a joint OnlyFans. Maybe once the podcast gets kicking.
Oh, 100%. The things I would do for money is honestly gross.
I know, but it's not like I'm doing it for...
I'm also doing it for laughs.
Yeah. I mean, I would be doing it for money, but I'd also like I'd give it a little energy and effort.
It'd be all my effort. If you wanted me to, smash my face on some dough or, walk all over some watermelon.
We'd make it artistic. And it'd be
phenomenal. It would literally be phenomenal. I would hope that we'd be like top 1% of creators.
I saw that Tana Mojo made $3 million on OnlyFans this year, and it just is like unfair. I mean, I get it because it's like her and you're a celebrity, so use your platform, but it's like I want to make $3 million. You know what? And it's so annoying.
Naked. Like all the people that I've like flashed my tits at like a party. I'm like, that was fucking free OnlyFans content.
I know. We used to flash our. I can't tell you the amount of times I was so many first people's boobs in high school that
you should be
that. Boys used to come up to me and be like, you're the first pair of boobs I've ever seen. And I'm like, damn it. Like, I deserve something for this.
Yeah, right. Compensate me.
Yeah. There's specifically this one boy. I remember he was sitting. It was probably after a football game or something. And everyone went to the diner. And we're like walking. We were walking out of the diner. And they were like sitting right by the window, a group of 4 kids, and I knew one of the girls, and she was waving at me, so everyone was looking out the window, and I just,
as you
lifted my shirt, and I watched that boy's jaw fully drop, and it felt good,
satisfying. It is satisfying, and it's always funny. It's always funny.
It's hard for me to like look at my body as a sexual thing sometimes because I used to like I would do it for laughs, you know. I wasn't
Same.
like showing my boobs to like be sexy. I was like, this is funny.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been hard for me to like adjust the like, oh
Yeah,
wait, no, like people find you attractive, because that will never click in my brain that like people think I'm attractive.
Same.
Because I think I'm not.
Right.
I mean, I have my moments where I'm like, girl,
Right.
you're
killing it.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Of course, I have some self-confidence, but when it comes to sexuality and like being seen as a sexual being, that will always be like where I mentally cannot fathom that happening.
Yeah, like
I do it for people.
Yeah, what? I'm it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I feel the same sort of way. It's like, but then it's like I'll be shaking my ass. I'm like, I know this is good.
Yeah, and I think for me too, it was always small boys loved me.
Oh, don't even get me started on this fetish right here. Yes.
And it's always the boys who I could physically crush who are like, Gloriana, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And I'm just like, are you sure? Because I could take your eyesight with my thighs. All I need to do is crush your skull. Like, it will take less than 30 seconds and I could KO.
Yeah.
I think that was always hard for me to like see myself not only as a sexual being, but to someone who I thought would be like never attracted to me.
Right. Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, back to the OnlyFans content, it's literally unfair though, because like Tana Mojo or whatever, well, like, does she do porn? No, she just like takes pictures of her ass and titties, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never been on her OnlyFans.
Neither have I, so like I don't know, I can't judge. But if she's making $3 million for going on a rooftop in a cute outfit and taking off her shirt, oh, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there.
It's weird because I feel like in order to get to that level where she is, you need to have a different fame. Like, if we get famous for being painters and then we're like, hey, but we're gonna make an OnlyFans, like people
we're gonna paint naked.
Yeah, people would go crazy. Like if fucking Nadia Lee Cohen was like OnlyFans, we would literally
I'd buy it.
Yeah, like there's no way we wouldn't. And it's not like it, but if she was just a random woman with no fame, no one would give a fuck.
That's
like, it's so weird that we only want to see famous people naked.
Not true, because I love seeing girls from my high school naked.
No, but because you want a personal connection for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's what kind of sucks, because like the regular girl who needs the money.
Yeah.
And like wants the money and is
who
doing
will like
it.
do the jig when you fucking subscribe.
Yeah. For like it's literally like buying small business. Like
support your fucking local business.
Yeah, support your girls from your high school who have OnlyFans, because
Honestly.
Tana Mojo doesn't need your coin.
No. Tana Mojo didn't even need to start an OnlyFans.
No, she was so successful without it. So like that's what sucks, I guess. Not her getting money for her naked body, because like I mean, if I could do it, I would do it too. Yeah. You would do it too for a check. I really would. I don't know what I don't know if I would like do the fucking. So I appreciate the people that do the fucking.
Oh, the Trishas of the world? The ones putting like fucking Alfredo sauce in their pussy?
Yeah.
I bow down to you.
Uh-huh.
Because I could never.
Yeah. I mean, I've never watched porn. I've never been like a person. A part of me wishes. That's never been a vice of mine.
I mean, we've watched porn together and like laughed.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've watched it for the plot,
but like
it's never done anything for me. It feels invasive and
interesting. And
I also need some sort of like I want to know the people, and I'm also like never attracted.
I want to know the people.
I'm not attracted to them either.
Watching
I'll be like, ew, those highlights.
I love watching like literally people that I know, like you said, like Lena the Plug. Love her. Riley Reid, love her, because they both have like somewhat of a YouTube personality. Like they'll be in like vlogs and on like No Jumper and shit. I'm like, yes.
Oh my god, I saw a video of Riley Reid like singing the N-word like multiple times, like 3 years ago on YouTube.
Oh jeez, no.
Like, well, I saw it on TikTok, but it was like a clip of a YouTube video.
Oh my god, Dixie D'Amelio dancing to
all of that is just too much.
You could totally tell they're from Darien, might I add.
Who?
The D'Amelios.
No, they're from Norwalk.
Well, Norwalk.
Yeah. It's weird because I keep up with them because I'm from Norwalk and I find them like interesting just because I literally
in the same town, yeah.
I know where their old house is. Like I've driven past it multiple times. Like I used to work for their neighbors and like I also know people who knew them and they went to my high school. Mark D'Amelio was also voted class clown in the same yearbook as me, so
come for me, Mark D'Amelio.
Yeah,
let's have a roast, bitch.
I bet I'm funnier than him.
Oh, I mean, I bet that would.
Yeah.
If that could happen, that would be some funny ass
a Norwalk
content.
High class clown off. I definitely I'm like, how funny were you really?
Come on, Mark.
Come on, Mark. But like cause I noticed like they're the only TikTokers that I pay attention to. I don't know any of the TikTokers' names that surround them or any of their drama. I only know Charlie and Dixie stuff because they're from here. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what's the draw for other people that like live in other states and stuff and like watch their content? Cause I'm like, hey, locals. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, how do they do it for other people? I'm like, what's the draw?
Yeah, they keep up with the trends. They do the popular trends.
Yeah, they're cute. I mean,
yeah, they're cute and they do the popular trends, but what Dixie did this week was not cute, sis.
Yeah, no. I just, first of all, Trish is, I love that we're now commentating on. I mean,
this podcast is jumping the fuck around.
I mean, it's because we haven't seen each other.
I know. So we need to talk. We need to talk about it.
But I feel like that if you're 36 minutes deep into I feel like people like hearing us talk.
Right.
Why else are you
listening to this shit? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we'll talk about good stuff, and other times we're here to jib jab.
Yeah.
But yeah, she shouldn't have danced to Trish saying that. But Trish isn't a voice of reason.
Hear me out. I'm a Trish stan, as Glow knows. I know she has like definitely some mental illness. She's been working on it. She's been going to a doctor, yada yada yada. But my thing is that originally she was just. Did you watch the H3 Frenemies?
I haven't watched this week's episode.
It's fucking good. It's good. I liked it. I laughed really hard. But she was like, oh, I saw everybody else reacting to it, so I was like, let me react to it. And she did react to it, and she just gave her fucking opinion. And then, Charlie called her out when she was doing her live, and then Trish was like, listen, I'm just telling you how it is. You need to be humbled a little bit, but, like, I'm sorry. Like, I get she apologized. Trish,
yeah.
TikTok of
Which
her.
is really hard for her to do, so good
right,
for her.
So she apologized, and then when James Charles got himself involved, that's when she popped off and made, like, 40 TikToks. But she said on the H3 podcast that she made that many TikToks for the fucking revenue, baby.
Yeah, I heard she made, like, 250 million views.
Yeah, 200, and she had, like, over, like, 400 million views in that week. Yeah. So,
but she continues to do controversial stuff like at the same time as she's trying to be like this like voice for the voiceless.
I don't think she's been doing that much controversial things lately.
She's been doing a lot of anti-Semitic shit. Like
no.
Yeah.
Has she been doing anti-Semitic now?
Yeah, a lot of it. Like the other 2 weeks ago, she like hailed Hitler even though it was like in a dance for a musical. Like the Jewish community is extremely
her weird whole like, oh, I'm gonna convert to Judaism and like I love Israel because of her boyfriend being whatever.
But she was making videos like that are very controversial and anti-Semitic, and I mean I'm not Jewish, so I can't say like this is why I'm upset with her.
Being a Jewish woman.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't practice I don't follow Judaism like religiously, if that's what it is. It's more just culturally. Like culturally I'm considered Jewish because my mom is Jewish and her parents were Jewish.
Do you celebrate Hanukkah, your ass?
No, it's not religiously.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, so like what I think a lot of people in the United States get confused when you say you're Jewish because they think, oh, so you celebrate Hanukkah and Passover and all that stuff. But no, I'm not religious. It's just part of my culture, like whatever. So that's like I see. I think Trish is just like, oh, he's stupid. She's just like a kind of a fucking idiot. And like, if you don't know that that's a part of her brand by now, like fucking whatever. 4 months ago, she did the fucking Egyptian thing with the married to a donkey. Like,
she's always gonna do controversial things because that's what keeps her relevant. I just don't think she can have this activist platform where she calls people out when like everyone can point fingers back at her. I mean, I applaud her for doing it, but
I think
there has to become a point where you stop making the mistakes in order to have that voice. Like you can't be calling people out but like still making the same mistakes versus like, oh, I've changed. I know I have a really ugly past, but I don't do anything bad anymore. Versus the thing like where people are like, last week, Trish, you did XYZ. You know?
But the thing is that it's because she suffers with like mental illness and literally probably borderline personality disorder. Having been watching her since she lived in Malibu with the beach view, like I've literally been watching her for years and years and years. So I'm obviously a little biased here, but like, bitch has fucking mental issues. Like, I think when she's doing shit like that, she genuinely doesn't think like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Like how me and you were like, oh, that's terrible. Like, yeah, I think in her head she's like, she thinks in some like twisted way that she's like bringing awareness or you know, commemorating or like some weird like totally off.
And to like an extent she is, of course, like she's not saying things that are untrue. It's just like, I think to viewers it feels hypocritical when she continues to make mistakes that are
But what I'm saying at this point, it's like not even, she doesn't consider them mistakes. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you. That was you. That was
it literally went through the Bluetooth. I don't need, I think my phone's in the bathroom.
Should we pause and you go get it and turn off or no? Fuck it.
I just shut off that sound.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, we got off on a really long.
Oh my god, I don't even know, like, what were we talking about before we started talking about cops? Because I was like, oh, I want to talk about, and then I was like, really quick.
We wanted to talk about our Thanksgiving and shopping small business. Right.
Shopping small business is so important.
It's just
this is all over the place. I love it though.
Yeah, but first of all, going back to Thanksgiving, like, you know me, I get really sad around the holidays. On Christmas, I always have a good cry. Yeah. I think my childhood trauma always thrives this time of year.
But you have, like, your chosen family, your friends, you know?
Oh, I mean, I love my family that I have. It's just small.
And, like, I know that last Christmas, you get emotional on Christmas.
Because my sister has a big family.
Yeah.
And so, like, my sister does she'll split her time, which I do too, of course. But, like, I get so sad because my sister has this, like, huge family with so many cousins. Like, literally,
and Karina, like, her age.
Yeah, Karina has so many cousins. She probably can't count them all, like, right off the top of her head. Like, she probably has to do all the fingers multiple times, like, to count everyone in her family. Like, if they were all in a room, it would just be considered a party. Right. Like,
because it's just that many people. Yeah, I relate.
And literally, like, me and my mom and my grandpa will be, like, waiting for Karina to, like, come over, and I like, get so emotional. So I'm like, I want big family, and then I get, like, mad at my sister, and it's just, like,
it's a whole thing.
It's always a big thing, because, like, growing up, you hang out with your friends, like, after Christmas, and they're like, I got this and this and that, and I'm like, my mom got me socks and Marshalls. And I think I'd always...
And, like, a piece of jewelry that you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Or, like, I don't know. My dad, like, gifts me stuff all year long. So, like, Christmas isn't, like... literally... Like, the holiday season's never been, like, big and special like it is for other people. But I used to be jealous of that. I think that's the only time where, like, comparison would come in. Yeah. Because, like, I don't really compare myself to other people in any other aspect. When it came to, like, family stuff, that's when I'd get, like, triggered as hell.
It sucks, too, because, like, a lot of your friends, too, have fucking big families.
Oh yeah,
like,
all my
Philip
friends
has a huge family. I have a fucking huge family.
Yeah, Celia, like literally all my friends have big, good, huge ass families, and I'm just like, of course I make my own family, but then when the holiday season comes around, I'm just like triggered.
Yeah.
Like that literal like kindergarten, first grade version of me is just like,
what can I talk to my cousins? Yeah.
Yeah, or even just like being in one place. Like Christmas has always been like moving to 3 different houses.
Just
like
driving.
Yeah, driving. And I think like as I've gotten older, it's become easier because it's obviously like less comparison, less like you mature.
You mature, and I think you get in your head more that you're like, oh, I can make my own family and like have a good, like you know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, when I'm older, I could like, fucking light the fire, roast the chestnuts, have all my friends around.
Do a tradition that like I've wanted my whole life.
Right.
Exactly. But Thanksgiving, it's been different throughout my life because like when my mom would have a boyfriend, like
you go over there.
Yeah, like my mom was in a relationship for like 9 years with the same guy. So like we'd always go to his
Donnie.
Shout out to Donnie. As if he would listen. If you're out there, what's up? But like we'd always go to his family's house, and he had a really big family, which was cool. But when they broke up, we'd like go to my grandpa's house again, and sometimes even before Donnie, we'd go to my grandpa's house. But like it was never a big deal. Like no holiday has ever been a big deal in my family. Like every holiday is cancelable, and like no one would like bat an eye.
I remember like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
like, get takeout.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's never been a big deal versus like
but
the holiday season's a big ass deal for a lot of people.
Yeah, but to be fair, this year you have a house. This is the first year you have a house, right?
No, I was here last year.
You were here last year? Oh, I was gonna say you could light a fire now.
Yeah,
I can. Fireplace.
Gonna live.
You could get like that tree. You could get a real tree because you don't have to lug it into the apartment. Like we could get going.
Yeah, it could be a thing. But what's your Thanksgiving like? How's it different this year?
Oh my god. So I have a fucking huge family. My dad has 10 siblings. My mom has 7 siblings. Most of those siblings on my dad's side had kids. So I have like now cousins my age. I have a whole bunch, but unfortunately I lost a cousin last year. So it was like it's different now because we lost him like he was like 21, and it was like traumatically, like it was a total freak accident.
Was it before the holiday season?
It was in like July, so it was like the holidays were like coming up sort of deal. So it's like it's just never like been the same, I guess, because his mom and his sister and his dad or whatever is still of course mourning. We're all still mourning, so it's just like,
and it's complicated too because you think about like if medicine and shit was different in Arizona, like it's so different in Connecticut. We have Yale,
right,
versus like where it happened, like
in Arizona. Yeah, it was just it wasn't a good way for him to go out, I guess, and we all still try to like commemorate him and everything, but at the same time my dad lost one of his sisters very young to alcoholism, which is also sad because I know people get together on the holidays to like drink and have fun with their family, but then now that's like a mourning sort of thing. And it's just like since people started like dying in my family basically like prematurely or when they shouldn't have, it's been a little different. So like last year I don't think anybody really got together, and like this year is like the same deal. Like normally we'd go over to my Aunt Tara's and it's like a big gathering and my dad's siblings come over and my cousins are there, but it just hasn't been like that. And I don't know if it'll be like that for like a while because so much stuff is going on. Like everybody's going through their own battles right now because it's just the life. So yeah, I don't know. It's the holidays aren't like they used to be really nice. Like I have a really fond memory growing up of like Thanksgiving and Christmas, but since about like last year, it's just been, or like 2 years ago, it's been like kind of dreary a little bit. Like on Christmas, last year, my brother got mad that we were trying to wake him up. Like it was a whole thing. He had like a hissy fit. Like it was just, his girlfriend at the time was there, and like, she was probably a little uncomfortable. It was like a whole, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, my holiday season is always chaos. Like, there's always a fight, so I can relate.
Yeah, and there was, of course, there was a fucking fight, and then it was just like, everybody was just like, ugh, the rest of the day, and I'm just like, damn, I want to fucking be out, like.
Yeah.
And, it's obviously not exciting anymore because it's like we're also like grown.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I could make my own turkey if I want. Like, I know how to make mashed potatoes, like all that stuff. And it's like, before it used to be like a delicacy because I didn't understand cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And like, same with presents. Like, I don't fucking ask for, like, I don't want anything now. It's just like, I'm almost, like I said, I'm almost an adult. I am an adult.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to be like, I want.
Yeah, here's my list, and it's $1,000 worth of product. Get it for me.
Literally, it's not like that anymore. So it's like, it's just like whatever.
Ugg boots,
yeah.
Pandora bracelet.
No, not to be whatever, but I did ask for Uggs this Christmas.
Sorry to call you out. Like
yeah,
that.
the fucking Ugg slippers. You called me out last week too for the Hollister sweatpants.
I mean, Uggs are cute, of course.
The slippers are fucking cute and they look comfortable as hell. The new ones.
Yeah, I mean, if my dad asked me what I wanted, I would ask for fuzzy Crocs, but my dad's never asked. My dad's like, literally like around this time of year, he's like, okay, what do you want for Christmas? And I'll give it to you today. Like, it's always that random day in like October or November where it's like, all right, we're going to buy you your Christmas present. And I'm like,
and he's like, no wrapping is involved.
No, he's like, I'll go to the store with you and I'll buy it for you. Mm-hmm. And that's it. We don't need a tree. We don't need to do the thing. And my dad's also the hardest person to shop for. Literally, this man likes nothing.
I literally couldn't even.
I've tried to go tie. I've tried to go wallet. I've tried to go watch.
Yeah.
I've tried to
coffee mug.
Yeah. I've tried to knit him stuff. I tried to make him a sweatshirt. He was like, it'd be better if you wore it. Literally said to me, he's like, I really like this gift, but I'd like it better if you wore it. And
such a dad response to
I know, like, he's just like the hardest person to shop for because he has no interest. I think the best thing I ever got him was like a stack of scary movies because he loves horror films. But he was like, oh yes, will you watch them with me? And I was like, and that's where we
this
draw the
ends.
line. Yeah, that's not happening. And I like pretended to watch it with him. I got him Game of Thrones season 1. He like really fucked with it, but he hadn't. My dad's like very what's the word for like not deep? Like he
surface level.
Yeah, he's very surface level. Like he definitely didn't know what was going on. He was just like, I like the violence and probably the nudity, so I'm gonna continue watching. And same, like, my sister and I really have never done gifts. I think the only person I do gifts for consistently is my grandma. Like, she's the only...
she deserves it.
Yeah, she's the only person I, like, make sure I, like, put good mind effort into, like, getting her something.
Edith's a queen.
Yeah, like, I would feel bad if I didn't do it for her every
Well, because
year.
she's so, like, she literally brings Christmas decorations over to Glow's house and puts them up.
Literally, she bought one of those LED, like, projector lights that you point at your house.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah, she's like, I got this for you. And, like,
she's like, you need to have Christmas lights.
She put a snowman, like, on our door, and it's still up. Like, it made it the full year without being taken down. And there's a Santa on my fridge that's there year-round as well, but my grandma put it there, and no one moved it.
Right.
She's definitely the light of my light. She keeps me from being the Grinch.
Yeah. I love the Grinch. Jim Carrey. Like, the Jim Carrey one, obviously.
Yeah. But we were talking about how this year, like, it's so good and special and important to shop small business for your gifts. You said you finished your holiday shopping.
Yeah, I didn't finish it yet because I go overboard for literally everyone because I love giving. Like, I just love it. Like, it's so fun. It's so much better to me than receiving because it's just like, I don't know. I get off to it. I'm like, this is so fun.
My love language is gift giving. And,
same.
And I know during the holiday season that sounds like monetary, but like literally you could give me like a pick up a rock from like one of the places we hung out, and I'll literally like I'll literally come for your love.
Yeah, I love doing acts of service. Like I love cooking food for people and buying gifts and I like making beds and like
being motherly to people for some reason.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's where it like goes bad for me because I mother like specific people really hard sometimes.
You mother me.
I mother everyone and like
I love it though.
Sometimes it causes fights. I remember one time my friend was really drunk and I like put my arm around them and I was like shh, and they're like they got really angry, but I really just
we were trying to be there, comfort them.
Yeah, I'm just a very motherly person.
I love that. I love people like that too. It's just so nice to be like and like hug them back because it's like, you know, not everyone like has that sort of like really I don't know. It's just nice.
Yeah.
But I love giving. I made sure to get literally all of my stuff off of Etsy because it's just you know those motherfuckers, me being one of them, like I don't have an Etsy shop, but I know when people are like, oh, can I commission you to do whatever, I get gassed up. I'm like, yes, you can. I'm like, let's go. Like and I love just people are so creative that it's literally ridiculous. Like just scrolling through Etsy and seeing like holiday gifts ideas. I'm like, what the fuck? These people and anything you could think of, you could literally just search. You're like, oh, Betty Boop t-shirt, fucking whatever. And there's people who have like thousands of designs for it. And it's like really amazing because it's like, you're not going to find that shit in Hot Topic. You're not going to find that shit on Amazon. Jeff Bezos doesn't give a fuck if you buy from Amazon or not. He's not doing a little dance. Man has more money than some like literal countries.
Yeah, when someone just bought a mirror off my website the other day and I like wrote them a thank you card and I packaged it and like
you like kiss it.
Yeah, it's just like so exciting to know like someone in Illinois has like a piece of my artwork, found it online and like wanted it.
Yeah.
And went out of their way to buy it.
Crazy. Like literally crazy. If anybody wants to buy either of our stuff this Christmas, we will do a jig.
I will do a jig. Go on my website. I actually have a 40% off going until for the whole holiday season. If you use code Gleep40 at checkout, GLEEP, you get 40% off anything you buy off my shop.
That's literally so great. And it's like small businesses do these fucking deals too. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, like I'm willing to like I even made a video the other day. I was like, if you see something on my website that you want and you can't afford it, just bargain with me. Like, I'll change the price 100%, so you could buy it.
100%.
Like, I don't care. Like, the price that I put up is just, like, that would be nice to get that type of money. But if my art isn't affordable to you, like, maybe I can make it affordable if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, there's like certain things that I've obviously worked really hard on and like put serious effort into that I'm not just gonna like give up because of whatever. But I can make you a small version. Like I could do something
exactly. Or like I know you'd be willing to like take like $30 off or like $40 off if like that meant they could give it to someone who really wanted it 100%. For a gift.
100%. Yeah. Anybody, if you go on to Claire.444 on Instagram. Just scroll through. I'll make you a print of anything. I'll give you even the original for a good price. We'll bargain. I do that. I love bargaining.
Yeah, bargaining is nice. I mean, I've definitely been scared to ask people for things from like, because you never want to make someone feel bad being like, can I have this for less money?
Right.
Like,
you don't want to insult them.
Yeah, but I'm putting it out there that like if you ask them, if you like throw me an offer, like I might reject it if it's like
trash.
Yeah, but like I'm a reasonable person.
Yeah, same. I feel like most people are. Like
yeah. It's scary though, but I'm letting you guys know like if you do it, I will respond nicely.
Yeah.
It's also I've been getting a lot of like photography
orders
or not orders, but like people asking
requests.
Yeah, to do photo shoots and I'm just like oh my gosh.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Literally, like, it's so awesome.
But there's always that part of my mind that's like, don't take it, don't do it, because what if you do bad job and it's not worth their money? I know.
No, you're not like, but that's the thing. It's like when someone like is paying you to do a photo shoot, like you're gonna go in, like you're gonna do the whole background design, you're gonna fucking style them, you're gonna give them the makeup, and you're gonna take like 200 shots. Like there's some people who are like photographers out here that are like 175 for 15 shots.
Yeah, and I'll meet you in the woods, and
it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's like they're definitely getting what they pay for because you care about your work so much.
I made a video of all my photography and how it's changed over the past 3 years
on TikTok. Saw it, liked it,
and then someone commented, "Oh my gosh, I've seen your stuff on Pinterest before," and I was like, Someone
put my stuff on Pinterest.
Yeah, how exciting!
That's very exciting.
Like I forget that yeah, people see my work and like it, because sometimes my work could get like over 2,000 likes, and sometimes I think of that as just like, oh, 2,000 people like this. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I forget they could like save it and
send it off,
screenshot it, and put it somewhere else, make it their phone background, like do
fucking print it out.
Yeah, XYZ. Like I forget that like it just doesn't live on the internet, because I'm like, why would someone take my work and go put it somewhere? But sometimes,
I do that. So.
Yeah, one of my regrets is like sometimes people will DM me and be like, "Will you submit to my zine? Like submit to my zine. These photos would be perfect." But I just like am so lazy, and I can't I can't think about like some. I'm like, you could just use it. Like just use it and ask me some questions, because I for some reason can't get myself to ever submit my stuff, even though I would love my work to be all over the place. Like my goal for 2020, the age of Aquarius, 2021 is
43 days.
Yeah. Age of Aquarius is to just like definitely grow more, become more adult, put myself out there a little bit more.
Yeah, that's my goal too.
It's kind of unrealistic, but I want to hit 10K by my birthday. I don't think it's
January 31st, everyone.
I think it's going to happen, wink, wink.
Okay.
I think it's going to happen.
Okay. All right. It is going to happen. Manifest it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I would really like that to happen, because it's not about like, oh my gosh, 10,000 people follow me, but for some reason on Instagram, you need 10,000 followers to do the swipe up. And I just want to.
Do you really?
Yeah. That's the only reason I want that many followers, is so I could use the swipe up feature.
Oh, I want that too.
Yeah.
Guys, follow me. I have 300 followers.
Yeah, and I would love to drop my song on my birthday this year and swipe up. Hey, swipe up to listen to my new song.
So nice. That would be so nice.
The dream. Right now I'm at like 5.7, which is crazy.
Craziness.
Crazy to think that many people are interested in what I'm doing.
That's like a small stadium.
Yeah. If I saw 5,000 people in person and they were all there to see me, I'll literally throw up and vomit.
It's like hard to fathom, and it's even weirder to fathom people with like millions of followers. Like, what do you?
Charlie D'Amelio just hit 100 million on TikTok. That's a third of the United States of America. A third of the United States of America.
God, she must feel fucking weird as fuck.
It's like the East Coast.
She must feel weird as fuck.
I couldn't.
I would feel literally like, who is watching me? Like, I think I'd have a little bit of like a psychotic break or something, because I'd be like, who's watching me? What do you watch? Like, why?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
There has to come to a point where you like, your brain, there has to be switches. But it must, like, I don't think it's hard to stay authentic. It might be, but I don't think so. Because
we think that it's not, but you remember, there's people who spend, like, literally all their lives trying to, like, fit in.
Yeah.
You know, there's, like, people, we know people firsthand in, like, high school that would do, like, anything they could to, like, fit in with their fucking peers, which is lame.
Yeah. I think I definitely did go through that. In the sense of, like, I was bullied, and not for, like, I was bullied for, like, being Spanish and, like, having hairy arms, and, like, people like, go back to Mexico. What is your dad George Lopez? I'd be like, yeah, he is 100%. And then my dad would come pick me up, and I'm like, guys, look, it's George Lopez. I'm like, Dad, do the jumping slow-mo, like, from the show.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
And I'd, like, feed into it. And so I think definitely even subconsciously I would try to fit in by being like, Ita, don't speak Spanish to me. Like, I could have been bilingual. Like, I was just like, my grandma used to be like, you told me to my face, don't speak Spanish to me. And like, that hurts my feelings to know that like I hurt my grandma's feelings.
Yeah, especially because it's like, she can't help it. Like, that's literally her first language.
Now I'm 23 and I'm like, Ita, por favor, yo quiero hablo español. And it's like, I hate.
And she's like, lo siento.
Yeah, cries in Spanish. And like a part of me like hates that version of myself that was like trying to be a follower in the sense of like,
but like
fit in this community.
But like society. Let's blame that.
And it's so weird because my mom, I lived with my mom majority of my life. No idea. Because she's completely white. Like, and she had 2 Hispanic children, and like Karina doesn't look Ecuadorian. She looks very like Asian. And so people would just call her Asian all the time. And like,
okay, she doesn't even look Asian though. That's like so stupid to me because she does look Ecuadorian. Like,
I mean, I know she looks Ecuadorian,
but it's like to even think that people it like blows my mind because her what?
Yeah, no, but like, because we grew up in the same school system, but 4 years apart. So like, people would be fucking racist to Karina and racist to me, are just like insensitive. And so we definitely both grew up trying to be more white, like be more like our mom's like the half of our mom, not the halves of our dads, to like fit in. But when I moved to Norwalk, I was like, hold up. So I definitely, even though I felt like I was being myself my entire life, I definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
So it changed drastically when I moved to Norwalk. And then like, even now I'm so much different from like that version of myself who realized that. Because
I know the feeling. Like, I would hide some of my like beliefs because I'd be like, oh well, and you know, maybe that'll make someone like not like me, so I'll just like keep it to myself. But it's like something I'm passionate about, so it's like, why would I keep that to myself if that's literally what I believe? You know what I mean? Like, I should just fucking say it. Like, just don't be afraid because that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, but it even goes like, I think what you were kind of touching on too is like being yourself, even like by the way you dress.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely, like, we've talked about this before. Like, there's definitely like trends, and like to be called basic is like the biggest insult right now. Or not right now, but it has been.
It was.
It was.
Like how all the girls would dress.
My thing about being basic, Solo. If that's your authentic, like if you're, because I think there's people who are basic in every sense. Like, you get the Lululemon basic, but you get the hipster basic, you get the punk rock basic. Like, oh, because like, of course, in every like different subculture and subgenre of style and fashion,
there's the stereotype of
there's the basic stereotype. And if you genuinely, authentically like those things, then like, that's not an insult to be basic.
Embrace,
but if you do it because you want to fit into that mold, like if you want to be if you want to be a visco girl and you don't like scrunchies, but you're gonna wear scrunchies and say or whatever because it like
throw back, Jesus,
because it makes you a part of the trend, then like no. But if like that's if you fucking like scrunchies and like scrunchies,
and
like,
if you fucking want to carry your hydro flask everywhere, then do it.
Because but if you're doing it for like for a reason that isn't like self-fulfilling, then I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I think what I did a lot in my childhood is I would find somebody that I like looked up to or I thought was really cool, and I'd try and mirror them because I was like, oh, this is what I want, like, which is just terrible because it's like I was losing my sense of self by like trying to be like that other person and like take on their hobbies and their stuff. Like, even my best friend now, Georgia, well, I mean, we're very similar, but we're very different. Like, but when we were younger in like 3rd grade, she'd be like, I hate the color pink. And I fucking love the color pink. I played with fucking Barbies my whole goddamn life. And I was like, yeah, I hate the color pink too. Like, I would just go along with it because I was like, nope, me and Georgia are best friends. I have to be just like her. So it's like, it's just like you do that and it's weird. Like, now we're getting to the age where we're like, oh, fuck it. Like, whatever.
Yeah. I definitely, my sister was always very feminine, and I've never really felt feminine, which is funny because I was kind of overanalyzing myself, as we all do. Like, the reason I call myself Lady Gleep is because I think, like, when I was coming up with a name that in that time of my life, I never really felt feminine, so I was kind of forcing it upon myself, like manifesting femininity and like feeling feminine. And I think that definitely like came from having hyper femme friends. And I was like, I like how you like Celia is definitely one of those people who like I perceived as hyper femme, and I was like, I love the way you
like
present yourself to the world,
and she like always has looking cute when she leaves the house.
And I've never like honed in on it the way she does, and I like love her style, and I think like she's one of the coolest people in the world. But there's definitely like there's a version of me that like I want that, but I'll never achieve it because that's just not authentically me.
Right.
And there's versions like a part of me wants it sometimes. So like I would push it upon myself like, oh, I'm Lady Gleep, like I'm a lady, like I'm super risque.
Call me miss.
Yeah, and it just doesn't feel authentic to me. And I realized that. I was like, oh, like I really tried to push that on myself, and it never fully came to fruition because I've never fully identified like super feminine.
Yeah, I agree. Like same thing. Like would try to be like super feminine, but I know I'm not. Like so I just like Like even today, I was like, should I put makeup on? Like do my eyeshadow because like I know you do makeup really good, and I'm like, Glow's always be looking cute with fun looks, and I'm on TikTok and I'm seeing all these like super feminine looks and these like cute little fucking hairstyles. I'm not. Yeah,
I could do like feminine face and feminine hair, and like but there's always like when it comes to the outfit, like it's never full femme. Like my outfits definitely like feel kind of like non-binary.
I love the style of like looking super feminine, like hair, face, makeup, body, and then wearing like a suit.
Yeah.
Like a Cara Delevingne. So I love that look.
Yeah. I think it has to do with body confidence, maybe.
Oh, if I get 100%. Yeah. I was just about to say that.
Because sometimes when I'm body confident, I get hyper femme. Like, and I'm like feeling my curves, and I'm like, should I like, put on a bra? Body yada yada. Yeah. But it's like so rare, and hopefully, maybe eventually one day it won't be so rare. I think. I read somewhere, I heard somewhere, or maybe I was having a conversation with a friend that like I could identify as she, her, but like still be non-binary. Like I can, cause like I heard that most women like very much identify like I feel like a lady, and I'm like I've never felt that way. Like I've never I forced it upon myself to try and feel that way, but it's never felt like authentic to me.
Also like what's a lady? Like fuck society for being like that's not ladylike of you. Like taking large bites or whatever the fuck, or like not fucking like swearing after every fucking word. My parents would be like, "Oh, you sound like a truck driver." I'm like, "Oh, and truck drivers can't be women, huh? Like what the fuck?"
Yeah.
So it's like society has made being a lady and being ladylike fucking weird. I think it's coming out of that now. Like not all, if you don't have to be ladylike and fucking cross your legs, like whatever. But it's like it's coming out of that now. But back when we were growing up, I think it was more like, oh, be a lady.
Yeah.
And it's like, fucking.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going towards a place where gender expression is becoming much more fluid. Like, it doesn't matter how you express yourself, whatever you like.
Just a concept.
Yeah. Growing up, I wish my best friend loved Polly Pockets. And
I loved eating them.
Yeah. And my mom, I would make her buy them for me, but I refused to play with them. I was more of a collector. Like, I collect them. Every Barbie I ever received as a birthday gift stayed in the box.
as they should. That's worth money.
I think it's because I was so shy. Like, I would be with Karina.
Okay, Trixie Mattel.
I would be with my sister's cousins, and they would be like acting out as the Barbies and like genuinely playing, and I couldn't for the life of me. Like, it felt weird to like give a Barbie like a voice and mannerisms and relationships and stuff. Like, there was such a wall. Like, I feel like most people wouldn't believe it, but I was such a shy child. I didn't talk to anyone until the 3rd grade.
Interesting. I feel like, I feel like that's kind of like Georgia, going back to her. She was also a very shy child, and she never played with Barbies. She only played with horses. And so she would give these horses like fucking personalities, like spirit, all that shit. And I always thought like, oh, why not just play with Barbie? Like, it didn't like click to me, but she didn't want to fucking play with Barbies because fuck that, Yeah. Like,
I never played make believe. I didn't like it. It made me really uncomfortable.
You never played house?
No. The most.
You never played school, college?
I played school once, but I anytime I've ever played an imaginary game, it was because the other person was into it, and so I was trying to like be with it, but it always made me really uncomfortable.
So how did you express your imagination?
I would play with Play-Doh, and I'd make my dad like give me orders to fulfill, but it's not
we love restaurant. So you would play restaurant.
No, but like I was still me. I wasn't like pretending to be Sherry.
I know, but you're pretending to be like Glow, who works at fucking Burger King. Like it's like, you did. I did, but I couldn't do like the disbelief. I couldn't give myself a character. You couldn't go into a persona. Yeah,
it gave me so much anxiety to like try and do that.
I also remembered playing, and I wouldn't go into full character either. I would be Claire, but I'd be Claire in college, and I'd be like, like, you know what I mean? And I'd make like a whole fucking chalk dormitory, and I'd be like, I'm in college, like whatever the fuck, what do you do when you're fucking 7?
Yeah. I've been trying to think about the way I express myself as a child, because I went to a museum recently. I went to the New Britain Museum of Art. And right now they have a big exhibit. It's like 2020 Year of Women. And the exhibit was just all female artists, or identifying women artists. I didn't really read the exhibit title. I was like, oh shoot, and I just like ran right in. I was like, women, you got me. I'm here for a good time. And first of all, it felt really empowering to like walk through this exhibit and know everything that was in it was made by a woman and thought of by a woman. But as I was finally experiencing art that wasn't made by me or like only seen online, because it was the first time in like over a year where I got to see
I can't wait.
art in person. We should go somewhere.
We should.
I got to see art in person. That was it felt really nice, because I feel like when I think of museums, I think of stolen art and I think of male artists. Like, that's all you ever really get to see. It's very,
I think of literally depressed old men.
Yeah.
Like,
and so it was really nice to walk into a museum and feel represented and know that people who usually don't have a voice have a platform.
Yeah, female artists are coming up. They really are.
It's really nice to see, because when I think of museums, I rarely think of women.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but
yeah, because it's like all the like masters and like the whatever Renaissance painters were male. It was literally a male dominated. It still is a male dominated field, but it's changing, and it's like, it sucks because it's like, when you look back in time or you go to any of the museums in Italy, it's literally all fucking Michelangelo and all those
murderer Michelangelo,
like all those men, like it's like, oh, what the fuck were the women doing at this time? But the women were being so creative. They were literally making every fucking dress. They were literally making every fucking
textiles and things that you don't see in the museums.
I mean, given like if you go into the Vatican, you'll see like these huge like tapestries, completely hand woven, and there is like women representation in it. They were made by women.
It's just a small percentage though, compared to male artists.
Right. Yeah. Terrible.
But when I was in the museum, I was trying to think back to like a childish version of me. I would love to go to my grandpa's house sometime soon and get to look at all my art from my childhood, because I lived at my grandpa's house until I was 3 or 4. So like all of my art is still in his house, like in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see the way that I created then and kind of channel that, because I feel like as we grow up, you get further and further away from your childhood, obviously, because time. But children are so artistic. It is crazy. Some of my favorite art I made last year was in collaboration with the girl that I babysat. Every day, I would bring my sketchbook and a thing of markers, and we'd sit all day in color. She'd be like, "Can you draw this or draw that or teach me how to do that?" And we'd collaborate, and she would either color it in, or I'd be like, "Okay, well, why don't you try drawing it, and then I'll color it in with you." Or just the things she would ask me to draw for her, or like the way she would color in things was like,
it hits different.
Yeah, it hits different because we have this set of rules that you get as you become an artist, and you understand color a little bit differently, and you don't want to like do things that you think would look bad because you have an idea of things that might look bad. Because when you're young, this is like science, I guess. When you're young, you have more pathways. Because as you get older, like when you're problem solving, you just get there's like less options because you've had so many experiences that you know the best way to go about things.
The walls are closing in. You're like,
versus like when you're a child, you don't really have a grasp of like, oh, I've done that before, it didn't work. You just so like there's just much more opportunity to like do and make different things.
Yeah, because you're like not skilled in decision making yet.
Yeah, so there's no decision making. So even though it sucks to be what's the word? Indecisive like we are.
I'm so indecisive.
It's expressive like when it comes to art.
Yeah, that's why I mean, I have drawings from that my mom has framed from when I was like 5, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was on a different level. Like, even my mom when I was 5, she framed the work because she was like, this is so impressive. Like, I understood like depth and field, and there's like this one drawing where I understood to draw like the hand on the opposite side of the body, even though it was only facing one hand, and it was like an oversized cookie I drew, and a smaller person holding it, and my mom was like, wow, that is phenomenal. Framed it, and I look at it now and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? I was so free. And that's why I like being like intoxicated or like kind of in like a weird state of self when I'm creating, because it allows you to just like free up whatever. Like, that's why I think it's like very interesting to see artists who were like tripping on psychedelics and like painting, because it's like wherever the fuck your mind was, it wasn't with you.
Yeah,
and it's just that you were letting the paint move itself, and I think that is just so cool.
Yeah, I think have you ever seen that guy that like smokes so much DMT and then paints what he sees
on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy. Like,
it's so free. It seems so freeing.
I don't think I'll ever experiment with psychedelics just because I've seen, like, I remember I saw videos like, this is a very realistic version of what you might see if you were tripping, and the way it gave me a sheer panic attack, I was like, yeah, I don't think hallucinogenics are for me.
You just have to know while taking them that it's going to be over soon.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't think I'd ever experiment with any other. I think if I was to do anything more than marijuana, it would be shrooms. I don't think I'll ever see myself doing acid or LSD, or I mean, if you do coke, I'm like, just why? I don't understand
that
those
is
drugs.
Literally the government putting drugs inside you. That shit's made in a lab. Just like LSD, that shit's made in a lab, and you're just eating the rat poison.
Yeah, the only drug use I could justify is psychedelic drugs. I don't understand why anyone would do anything harder than that.
Even LSD, having taken it fucking 7+ times, 10+ times, it's like doesn't hit the same way that mushrooms do, that things from the ground do. Like,
Yeah.
it's very...
I'm like weed and mushrooms. I will be perfectly fine if I die never knowing what it felt like to do coke or
mushrooms,
DMT.
you could like draw yourself
no, I guess
back
not
in, and you could be like, wow, life is beautiful. When it's like, when you take something else like a fucking LSD, you're like, where the fuck am I? This isn't life, you know? Like, it's like when I took this is completely illegal, so don't come for me. When I was in Amsterdam, I ate a bunch of truffles, like psychedelic truffles, and that shit was wild. I went to the Van Gogh Museum, and I had the most crazy spiritual experience I could ever. I sobbing, crying on the floor, standing in front of Van Gogh's work. Everybody was looking at me. What felt like, did not care at all. Like, it felt like life was just so. I was like, this is so beautiful. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm doing this. Had a little bit of a panic attack, but I was able to just reel myself back in. Like, you could really, I feel like you could kind of reel yourself back in easier on mushrooms, but maybe that's just me because I've taken them a lot.
You know, this is so off tangent, but it feels for full circle. You know what's so crazy?
What?
That when you were traveling abroad, you had to be rushed home because the world was shutting down.
I don't even like to think about that because the
like,
fucking flight
you had to
gouged
go
me.
to Iceland and like
that shit was so wild.
Isn't it so crazy? Does that feel like less than a year ago?
Yeah. That feels like less than a year ago.
Really? That feels so long ago.
Actually, kind of. I don't know. It's really weird to think about. When that happened, mind you, I had no idea what was going on in the United States because simply checked out. I left the United States because I didn't want to know what was going on. And this was when you still could travel, towards the end of February, and I had just lost like one of my like best friends to fucking suicide, and so I just like wanted to escape. I was looking for an escape. And I went on a trip with my friend Jade, and we fucking went all over the place, but I was woken up, it was 2 a.m. I was in Denmark, and my mom, the first thing she said to me, you have to come home right now. So I thought someone was dying because what? And she's like, they're shutting the United States down. And I was like, what is going on?
Which was such a fucking like ploy because it wasn't true. Like the way they announced it was like, if you don't get back into the U.S.,
you won't be able to get back in.
Versus like it was like all traveling Americans, like you can but the way they worded it, every like flights were sold out in seconds.
Literal seconds, and they were fucking price gouged like I've never seen before. It literally took me like about $400 to get to Europe, like round trip. Like it was easy. On the way home, one way from Denmark to get back to JFK was $1,000.
Yeah, insanity.
That is literally makes me so mad to even think about fucking
it's
large
so weird
business.
to think about a year ago.
Like fuck a corporation, huh?
We need to have a full episode about drug use. Maybe we have
I have some crazy stories.
We have so many people in our lives too that are sober.
I know both of our fathers
and one of our friends. And I feel like sobriety is such a big theme in my life. When I talk about religion, I'm like, my religion is AA. Because even though my parents put me in Catholic school from like kindergarten to 2nd grade, and then I went back for 8th grade, I was never confirmed. Like I never believed in Catholicism, and my parents never pushed it upon me. They just like put me in that school because it was like the best option at the time.
Because just everyone in the fucking United States is goddamn Christian. Yeah,
and I honestly, what shaped me the most growing up was like going into AA meetings and
hearing
stories about how like people went to jail for like getting into a DUI and like
flipping their fucking car and like hurting the family.
Yeah, like the way that because kids go to DARE, right? And they learn about drugs and they're like,
don't do drugs.
Yeah, but like imagine if you met people like at that age and they told you how like they lost their entire family and like it's extremely addictive and like it could be fun. Like they never in school talk about how fun it is, but my dad would always be like, it's the best, but it ruined my life.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's on recovery. Like you can admit like, oh yeah, that shit was good. That's why I was doing it.
Like my dad reflects when he was like full on like mafia, like gangster lifestyle. He was like, yeah, boy, like that's it.
Yeah, I mean, literally same. My dad, fucking full-fledged alcoholic. He's like, I remember when I used to get fucking hammered and flip cars. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, he's like ruined his life. Glow with the phone calls.
My phone was behind me this entire time. But yeah, definitely.
We'll have an episode.
Yeah, well, we should have an episode about that. But this episode kind of just went all over the place because we haven't seen each other.
Yeah, so we were just chit-chatting.
Catching up. So I hope you guys enjoyed our...
I feel like this was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking. I've been trying... Because I realize, like, sometimes I do talk to you.
Okay, this is what we had last week.
It's because I think I'm more talking to the audience but looking at you versus, like, trying to have a conversation with you.
Last week, Glow was concerned that she was talking too much and I was talking too little. But the issue is that I just don't want to cut her off. So I listen and I nod and I don't say much. But... we didn't do that this episode.
Yeah, no. And
it was a good share.
And I like the criticism I have gotten from my friends are like, I want Claire to talk more. So
yeah,
like I think in my mind, I'm like, let me fill all the time.
Well,
so it's not boring. And I'm like trying to like
overexert. Yeah.
I'm overexerting myself. And I'm thinking like, oh, if I overexert myself, then that means like Claire will too. And it'll lead to like I was just trying to problem solve by going about it in like the worst way.
Literally, yeah, didn't even tell me. You're like, I'm just gonna go in.
Yeah. And so I really like doing this podcast together.
This is good.
We work well together.
I know all the criticism I've gotten from my friends too is they're like, obviously fucking talk more, Claire, but they say that we have really good chemistry. And we do. We could talk, bitch. We could talk. Like, it's crazy.
It's weird because I don't feel like... I mean, obviously, I know we have chemistry because we're friends, but I wouldn't think it, like, came off as much as it does to other people.
But it does. People are like, oh, you guys, you have such good banter. I'm like, do we?
Yeah.
But it's because we've literally fucking 7 years
And
now.
I'm like, Claire, we're boring. We gotta step it up.
We gotta step it up. We're not talking enough. And it's like, we literally just divulge, like, all of our family information, our drug use, our fucking OnlyFans.
Yeah. But I would love to hear more criticism from people, constructive criticism.
The day we get a hate comment, I know we said this in the last pod, we will mention you. We will talk about you. We will celebrate you.
Yeah, Michael started leaving hate comments on my TikToks, and I'm like, it's not the same because I know you. And
I know. I see his hate comments that are not even good.
I know. Like, step it up.
I know. You want to fucking cyberbully me? Can you please give it a little more goddamn effort?
Yeah, like, come on. I know where you live. I could look you in the eyes and tell you your hate comment sucks. Like, it's not fun. Like, I want it to be a stranger. The only hate comments I've ever received are like, your art's too expensive. I'm like, okay.
Oh, we know who that is.
I'm like, all right, whatever. No, from multiple people.
Oh, you have?
I've received it from multiple people.
Well, suck a fat one because it's always from people who don't do art, though. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's always from people who like don't
like, you order all the supplies and you make it and you try and sell it and like tell me how much you want to sell it for.
Exactly.
To make it feel like it was worth it.
Right. Yeah. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
I feel like a lot of people look at stuff.
And it's also, it's like you have the audacity to say that this is too much when it was like handcrafted, but yet you're going to spend $50 on like a fucking FaZe Clan shirt.
Yeah. I promise you, if Urban Outfitters or whatever was selling what I made, it would probably be the same price and you would probably want to buy it because it's from a bigger company and you could like justify spending that.
It's so true. It's because they have the fucking brand behind them. That's
I'm like, I promise you, if this store knocked off what I made and had the same price, you wouldn't question it.
100%.
Or even if you did, you would still probably want it.
Right.
Probably more because when it's
because it's marketed.
Yeah, when it's backed by a brand, that aesthetic becomes like so much more valuable.
Also, not to be whatever, but like if the art's good, it's gonna sell itself no matter what the fucking price is. So buy. Like we hate comment. Come at me with something harder, please.
Please do. Oh, how is your rat race painting is coming along really well.
Did I send you the final picture? I need you to photograph me with it because the ones I got just ain't doing justice. And every time I have someone photograph me, I always think in my mind, go could do better.
Thank you.
Which is just loyalty at that point, but it's true. No, it's coming along. It's almost done. I'm going to put it up on eBay actually after I send it to my critique for my art professor. So yeah, if you want to find it on eBay, it's gonna be under Rat Race. The starting bid is going to be around $800. So
that's more than fair.
But it's literally a 6 foot by 6 foot
huge.
painting. So it's like,
and it's totally worth it.
Yeah, and if you have the room for a fucking 6 foot painting, it's literally 6 feet across and 6 feet tall. So it's like, if you have the fucking room for that, then you can spend. Like, I
love your art style, the way you did those rats. Mike, you saw the mousetrap Michael and I painted. Mm-hmm. We're like, yo, Claire needs to draw one of her rats on this.
I'll get a rat on that ASAP.
Okay, yeah. We were like, because we were having fun collabing, but we're like, I feel like we can't do a rat. We can't put a rat on here without Claire. Like, right. Claire needs to put the rat on here.
I'll put the rat on there.
Wow, thank you.
I would
love for you to do that. Like, that would warm my heart.
You know I would.
Perfect. I didn't think it was going to be a problem asking you. Never. I felt like I would get a yes.
Of course.
Still nervous.
You'll always get a yes. You know that.
Yeah. I love, because I think my favorite part about this painting of yours is that, like, I could see your skill set versus sometimes when we art together, you and I, you're just like
painting.
You're not really not that you don't put effort into it, but like,
no, yeah, there's definitely times.
I think I see quantity over quality
all the time
when we work together. And when I look at your rat race, I'm like, oh, this is like quality. Like, this is one of Claire's quality works.
Yeah. There's a few paintings that I've done in my lifetime that I'm proud of, and this is definitely one of them.
Yeah, because I could see your skill. Like, I mean, I know you're talented because I've seen like what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And even when you are doing quantity over quality, like it's still really good. Like, it's artistic.
Yeah.
But like, you don't really see what you're capable of versus this is a piece where I'm like, oh shit, like.
Yeah, and also
she really fuck it up.
I fucking went in for this piece. It took me a little over like 2 months probably, but like when I really go in, like, I think this painting is like cartoon styled as well, with like hints of realism, like there's shadows and shit. But when I really go in, like, I have a Salvador Dali master copy, and people are always like, wow, what the fuck? Like, because I'm like, oh, I could paint with oil. Like,
it's crazy. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah, so it's like, but that shit took me 6 months.
Yeah, bitch can't match color for shit.
Bitch can't match color for shit.
Or mix color for shit.
Mix color for shit. Like, I want to buy it straight out of the bottle, and that's 99%. I didn't mix one color on the Rat Race painting. I didn't, except for gray. I mixed gray.
I mixed the yellow and the blue for you.
You did. I swear to God, I can't mix. I literally can't do it. I hate it. But I'm not going to let that put me in a box because I think
that's something you should definitely work on because you know it's your problem.
Right.
And so I think if you work on it.
But also, hear me out. Sometimes I'm like, this makes me a better artist because
why?
I'm not obsessed with the color that's coming out, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, I have to get this certain color, I have to mix it right. And if I can't mix, like, I couldn't mix the fucking blue you matched, so I'm like, all right, we're just gonna go different blue, but it gave it like depth, so I'm like, wow, that was just like good, that just happened to be good.
Yeah, but I think it could take away from you if you don't, like, if you only have yellow and blue, like, don't be afraid to fucking mix green, Claire.
Right.
I know. If you have red and fucking blue, don't be afraid to mix purple.
This just sounds like a goddamn math equation to me right now. I'm like, red and blue, what?
I've always loved color theory, and I get more when Claire did her master copy of the Salvador Dali, you know, my bitch ass walked in and mixed like
the whole palette.
I mixed maybe like I was looking because Claire's like, this is gonna take me all night, and I was like, oh, I'll come and mix the color for you. And I went and I probably mixed like 60, no, like probably like
16.
Yeah, like I was gonna say like 20 actually, like
yeah,
probably like a good like 20 different colors, like probably 5 shades of orange and like a few shades of like a brownish
effortlessly
orange.
Might I add. I was like, I like matched it up with the picture and I was like, what the fuck, like that's hard for me.
One of my like strong suits has always been able to like see the slightest differences in colors.
It's crazy when I have something that I'm like copying and it's like with the reference photo, I'm like, Glow, how many grays do you see in this? And she'll literally circle them out and she's like, there's 7 different color grays there, and I'm like, see, I saw fucking 1.
Yeah, you were doing that Kill Bill drawing,
yeah,
and
you're like here and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, together we're a dynamic duo. I could find all the colors and Claire could place them perfectly.
Yeah, that is true. That's very true.
But yeah, I think that's definitely something. Not that you won't ever become like the best version of yourself if you don't accomplish that. But I think
it will
expand. Like if you don't have any orange, you need to mix your own. Like don't shy away from a color that was in your head just because you don't have it in a tube. And
to be fair, it is stunting my growth as an artist because I do want to spend money on expensive paints, and to get every color, you only need 4 colors. But since I don't know how to mix, I'm like, no, but I need 12 colors because whatever.
Literally, all you need is black, white, magenta, cyan, yellow, a blue, and a red.
Okay, fucking Bob Ross coming at me.
I think you should follow some like mixing accounts. I
followed that one you sent me.
Yeah, he matched his colors so perfectly. And when I was painting with Michael, I was like, I was trying to mix a brown, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking
look at him. I literally have looked him up to mix a color.
Like I would never add a color. Like if I'm mixing a blue, I wouldn't. Like the way he was mixing to get to colors, I never would do because I think it wouldn't work.
Like mute the blue with a yellow. Like that's not what your mind goes, but that's like how you do it.
Like he was adding like green to like his green to like make his red more dull. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? That's gonna make it brown, and it doesn't. And I'm like,
this the correct amount.
This man is out here.
Oh, fuck, what's his at?
I have no idea, but there's a bunch of
there's a bunch of mixers. Yeah,
it's been an hour and 40 minutes.
What? We've been going in. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really long episode, but maybe I'll either A, cut it up a little bit, or B,
leave it all.
Yeah, hey, you get 2 episodes this week, basically.
You could leave it all.
Yeah.
I mean, people will listen to it. Meaning people, I mean Alicia. Hey, bitch.
And she'll be our guest next week, which is exciting because we want to talk about her a little bit.
Yeah, we'll introduce her. Alicia is my best friend. We've been best friends since like 6th grade, probably. She isn't an artistic person. Like, she doesn't paint in her free. She doesn't craft. She doesn't do any of that shit. She loves watching movies. So that's definitely. And the thing about Alicia is that she really appreciates art and like loves it and wants to support us and loves buying like small business art and like, you know, people who tie-dye on Instagram.
I know, when she shouts me out, I'm like, oh, Alicia.
Like, Alicia loves that shit and she loves watching it and, you know, appreciating it. So I think that's a really interesting point of view to like get from somebody, because it's like, you know, you think people that aren't into art just like aren't into art, but there are people who don't do art and like don't really know much about it but like love it, and that's how it should be because it's everywhere. And so I think that's really interesting. And she also really good at film, and I was like, every fucking actor.
Yeah, and that's nice because I feel like that's a way her and I could relate, because I mean that's like the dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, another critique I've gotten before, it's like we talk because our guests are usually our friends, so we need to give more information about them.
Yeah, I've actually saw that. I was looking up like fucking podcasting skills or whatever the fuck because I sit at work on a computer all day, and it said that you should never ask the guest you have on to, tell me about yourself. You should introduce them like in like comedy, how you're like, and coming up is the most creative, blah, blah, blah. They're special, this, and this. Like, you have to, like, you know, lead them in. Because that is a tough question when someone asks, like, if I were to ask you, oh, tell me about yourself. You don't even know what the fuck you are. You're like, I'm a painter and I'm a photographer and a filmmaker. And it's like, you don't know. So you need someone else to be like, this is what they do.
This is why they are. Yeah. And I think because, like, you're doing your own research, I listen to the podcast 3 times. I listen to it when I edit it. I listen to it when I listen to it when it gets first uploaded, and then like I'll go back like
and be like,
to
what
do critiques.
Yeah.
And I'll like listen to myself and I'm like, oh.
It's really hard for me to listen to my voice because I cringe.
Same. I hate my voice.
And so I've only listened to a playback of this podcast like 3 or 4 times.
Oh no, I listen to every episode literally 3 times. I think I listened to it. I first listened, so I edit then YouTube and then on either Apple or Spotify.
You listen. Yeah, I mean, I would start doing that, but sometimes I'm like,
I couldn't go back and listen to an older episode. Also, I think it's the fear of like, oh, what are the words I said that other people are listening to? So I re-listen to it.
Right. I do have, I'm like, sometimes like people in my life will be like, oh yeah, you said that on the pod. And I'm like, fuck, did I? I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, super authentic.
Wow.
Yeah, we probably repeat ourselves all the fucking time. So thanks if you're listening and continue to listen.
I mean, thank you so much. But to be fair, I don't think we repeat ourselves. I think we'll just like continue a tangent from like last episode. Yeah. And like go off.
I think,
or just like stuff in our life that we're worried about, that we're thinking of, that's on our mind.
Yeah. I genuinely see like this going somewhere. It's hard because it's like, first of all, Claire's still not shown me the analytics, and I will probably never see them.
I will. I literally will. You know what? That's going to be my goal.
Remember the time when Claire was like, Flo, it's only been 3 days? It was probably like a week and a half at that point.
Okay, now it's been like 2 months, but but it's okay.
Claire's like, tonight.
No, I'm going to get them to you. I promise.
I mean, I assume that there is growth.
No, there is. There is. I know there is because I did look at the graph and it has been slowly going up. Which I will show you. I swear to God.
But it's nice. I think sometimes it's hard because you look at other people being artists and you think they've just become successful overnight. And so when you're trying to do it yourself and you don't see that like overnight success, you think it's never gonna happen for you.
But the internet.
Yeah, like.
Billions of users.
If you were to meet those people and ask them like when, like how long did it take before you like started to feel success, they might say like years. And like
literally have like my favorite podcast, Tiger Belly, with fucking Bobby Lee and Kalila. Bobby's literally 50 years old.
Yeah. Like when I look at like people who are successful right now on YouTube, they're all in their 30s. Like yeah. And you assume you just assume they're young. I feel like anytime you look at someone online, you always assume they're young.
Right. And it's like so unfair because there are those like select few that just like fucking got it real quick, like money real quick, fame real quick,
Lil Nas,
recognition.
Lil Nas' 13th song was, what's his most famous song? Old Town Road.
Yeah.
Most famous song in the entire world. It was his 13th song he ever made.
Yeah, craziness. And it's like people like fucking David Dobrik who are like, oh yeah, he's like what, 22.
But he did put effort in. Like he was.
No, for sure, he did put
like
effort in.
That probably took him 2-3 years to get to where he was or where he is. And I mean, when you look at Charli D'Amelio, it took her a year to get 100 million like followers. That's insanity. But then you look at PewDiePie, like how long did it take him to get 100 million?
A long time, probably.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you see,
but it's like once you start getting that traction, it just it goes up. Yeah, like like she thought she was losing followers at one point, fucking Charli D'Amelio again, but she got them right back. Like,
yeah, I think it's important for me, and if anyone's listening, to like, if you're not working at that success rate you want to, doesn't mean it's not working for you.
100%.
It's just like
things take time.
Yeah, you have to work at your own pace. Just because you believe that if you know you're capable of X amount of success and that you don't get it, that doesn't mean you're not worthy of it, or you won't reach that at some point in your lifetime.
Yeah.
It's just gonna come to you much slower, or at your own personal race. Like, it's not a race to we're not trying to get anywhere at a specific time.
Yeah, no, we literally do this for fun. We literally have like 10 views.
Yeah, I hope
podcast.
one day it's not for fun. I hope one day
I hope one day we get fucking checks for this shit. But even if we don't, we will still do it because this is just like what we like to do. It's literally just fun. It's fun for me to drive out here and fucking put little headphones on and get little coffees and chit chat. Like, that shit is fun.
And also just having conversations with people that we do have, of course, like. Because all of my friendships are authentic. There's nothing I'm, like, not afraid to talk about with my friends. Right. But some people don't have that luxury, or some, like, to have, like, friends who think the same as them. Like, some people, you could be really creative and not have a single friend who does art.
Yeah.
But then also it's, like, nice to just, like, hear other people have your viewpoints.
Yeah. It's I love this shit. I love doing this stuff.
Yeah, and I want to expand on all my platforms. Like, I hope to, like, get to a point where I can make YouTube videos every week and keep doing the podcast every week and do photography where I'm like posting like a photo shoot every week, you know?
Well, yeah, and it's like you now have like the time and finally the resources to like do that, which is so awesome because it's like it's not just like a pipe dream anymore. It's like, oh shit, like
it's slowly becoming my reality. Because if I look back at where I was in this attempt of a career, because I'm not at a point yet where my art is self-sufficient and I
just
can
right?
move out. Like, I'm not in a financial place where I could ever move out.
Yeah, like I still gotta keep my fucking day job.
Yeah, and I need to get a day job. But I'm definitely better today than I was a year ago. Like, I wasn't even doing really paid jobs a year ago or 2 years ago. Like, now under my belt I have like music videos and like maybe like 6 or 7 like paid jobs
and this fucking podcast
and the podcast,
which is
and
like
TikTok
pretty goddamn
platform.
Impressive considering
and a
people,
website.
People don't know how to even get their podcast up on iTunes and Apple Music, and it's like the fact that we have that is like very cool.
And even this year, like, I was in a Mashable article and in a Glamour article.
Yeah, it's
like, there's small successes that just because they aren't, like, I don't recognize them as huge milestones, they are.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
And I accomplished a lot during this quarantine. Like, but I had to look back and be like, wait, no, you did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it's like literally inspiring, not to just me, but I know to like a bunch of other people, because you're like, oh fuck, you can do it. Like, if you just literally just make it like a priority, kind of just like, oh, you like creating, so you do it every day, like that sort of deal. Like, yeah, I feel the same way. And I'm like, I look at myself a year ago and I'm like, damn, I was barely doing art and now I have a studio. So it's like those things, simple things that you don't even realize in the moment that you're like, oh, I'm progressing. This is where I pictured myself when I was however old.
I think it's 100% important just to, like, if you have a dream, at least give it a shot. Like, don't think anything's a fucking pipe dream that you have no potential of achieving, because how are you going to know unless you give it any type of energy? Right. Like, if you think about something and you're like, oh, I want that to happen for me, and it doesn't happen because you gave it no energy, don't think it wasn't for you. Like, no, you got to try. Like, I will never become an actress if I don't act.
Right.
Like, I can't sit down and be like, damn, I never became an actress, when, first of all, I've never auditioned for a single thing in my fucking life. Doesn't have an agent. Yeah. Yeah, like, of course I didn't become an actress. I didn't try.
Yeah. And it's like, I hate that we're in... Also, like, I hate that we're in the society where it's like overworking yourself is like prized and it's like glamorized. It's not.
Yeah.
Relax. Glow did nothing last week. I did fucking absolutely nothing last week. We took 2 weeks off. Who gives a fuck? We're not overworking ourselves because that's a life. Like, we shouldn't prize.
I'm not living to make. I'm not like the consumer's bitch, I guess is what I'm saying. Like,
right. And then even if like I were to say something or you were to say something that the public didn't like, I would like apologize, of course, but it's not gonna like stop me from like having to apologize again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's remaining that authenticity while like of course, as more viewership happens, there's gonna be people like you're opening up yourself to criticism.
And as of right now, I love our fans. I love you, Jenny. I love you, Alicia.
Jenny's the best.
Like literally, there's even like, and I know I would like feel that way even if there was like a larger viewership. Like I love doing this for like people that love to listen.
Yeah,
and myself.
Me too. Yeah, and I do it for myself. If it ever came to a point where I didn't like to do it for myself, I wouldn't. I couldn't
simply
do it.
Wouldn't do it. Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. Like last week, we just simply weren't like not in the right headspace, not in the right like, mental health to do it.
Yeah, and in those moments, I hate myself. But of course, I'm like, don't force yourself to do it. Like, I'm not gonna force myself to do anything.
And it's like society making you hate yourself because we literally praise overworking yourself. Like people brag about the fact that they haven't gotten sleep in like days, and it's like,
yeah, no,
not good.
Take time for yourself. Like the most 100%. Successful people need sleep.
Yeah, need to eat 3 meals a day, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but
this is a good one.
If you guys would like to interact with us a little bit more, if you listen, feel free to DM us anywhere on any of our social medias. But this was the longest one, the longest one ever.
Well, 2 weeks worth.
Yeah, 2 weeks worth of time. We're sorry we missed you last week. I didn't want to get Claire sick.
Yeah,
I still have kind of like a stuffy nose from my sinus infection that government name Michael Valerie gave to me.
Oh, government name. Add it again. Leave a better hate comment, why don't you?
Yeah, my only hater is quote unquote my friend. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We genuinely appreciate you. I hope you have a lovely Thanksgiving and a lovely Black Friday when this comes out.
Yeah, and a good, nice, happy, healthy week.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for Claire. I'm thankful for our listeners. I'm thankful for my family, like my opportunity to even put my voice out there and for people to listen.
Yeah, and Glow Store, 40% off, code ladygleep. Follow me on Instagram, Claire.444. Follow me on TikTok, Claire.444. I currently just got an internship for the Mud Magazine.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that, but we'll have to talk about that next week.
We'll talk about it when it starts.
I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see what you do.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening. We hope you have a lovely week. And
wait, I didn't mean to say guys. Thank you, everyone.
I know. I need to get better at that,
We're going to get better.
Love you guys. Have a
everyone.
I love you, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.